Well, then, we appear to be live, and well, it's just me on at the moment, but in just a moment, we're going to be joined by the true brains of the operation. How is it going, Helen? Are you receiving?
I am receiving. How you doing?
I
Did you
am well. I
did you
am
just call
well.
me brains?
I said I called you the brains. Yes, I called you the brains of the operation, which I think
No
is
one no one has ever called me that, so thank you.
okay. No, no. Well, I think all the heavy metal truants who might be watching will agree with me that yeah, this just wouldn't happen without you. You are the administrative and creative linchpin of all of this.
Thank
So
you.
yeah, I think that well, I think we're ready to get started. And I've got to say, Alan, it's always a little kind of like a butterfly moment around now because for the last 2 and now going on 3 years, HMTV has been a way of us bringing people together from all over the world.
I know. It started off as something that we did during the pandemic just because everyone was doing Zoom, so we thought, why not? And
Yeah.
then suddenly it's yeah, we're on season 3 now.
Yes, indeed, indeed. Well, it's blown by, and I suppose that well, we're coming into a new chapter. Just this post-pandemic world, whatever it might look like. Certainly, I think it's taught us a few things. It's caused a bit of innovation, in our ranks, and I'm so pleased to see that not only has HMTV become a tradition now for us, but the virtual challenges as well, because of course that came about because of the pandemic, and it made us bigger and better and more successful than we could have possibly imagined, because it made us completely reconsider what's possible. And for that, I think that there is at least some kind of silver lining. And I'm just so pleased that we have virtual HMTs as well as physical ones joining us this year.
It is amazing. And I think it's something that we're going to continue doing because so many people from around the world now want to join us. And it's heartwarming to make sure that they all want to be part of what the Heavy Metal Truants does, and that's raising money for children's charities. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world, there's always some kids that that need help, and it's so great that everyone can do it. So I think the virtual ride is here to stay.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. And I suppose well, there's a reason why I'm wearing an Iron Maiden shirt and not a Heavy Metal Truant shirt. It's because technically I am wearing a Heavy Metal Truant shirt because, of course,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that Rod is represented. Co-founder of the Heavy Metal Truants. He's on this shirt. Just the kind of the progenitor of all of this in the
I
Truants.
think I
Because of
think
course
you're on it. You're on it as well, aren't you, Alex, in the
I
background?
am. I am as well. I am as well. Yes, I am that guy.
Well, speaking of t-shirts, look what I've got.
Oh, hey!
Yeah,
That's exciting.
rabbits.
That's fantastic.
And
Gosh.
so this is just a sample. It's
Mm.
got the back on there as well. This is just a sample one, but I had to just do the colours slightly different because I wanted a little bit of difference on the mascot. But the orders have come in through Music Glue and they have been sent to the printer. So you can no longer buy a t-shirt or a hoodie or a cycle jersey. So I'm sorry if you missed out. But the printer has got the orders and they are hopefully going to get to everyone before the challenge starts. That's the idea.
Indeed, positive thoughts, but well organized, and so pleased that that's happening again as well. So thank you to everybody who got their orders in. Profits, of course, go to the charities. And speaking of charities, we have a great lineup of guests today, beginning with the reason why we're all here. Now, before we get there, Helen, today's been a big day for Heavy Metal Truants. So we got an award, didn't we?
We did, Alex. So there is a award ceremony called the Heavy Metal Awards, Heavy Music Awards, sorry, and they have awarded us the H Award, which is from them and Ticketmaster, which is a sponsored award, and they wanted to give it to us for all of the lovely things we do. But obviously, it's not actually us that does the work; it's the riders and at the end of the day, it's the charities that do it. So we've asked our charity representatives if they would receive the award, because obviously at the end of the day, it is all about them. And we have the lovely Sandy Trappick joining us from Nordoff Robins today.
Indeed, indeed. Well, without further ado, we're going to bring her in from the waiting room. Because of course, we love awards. We're so grateful to have music awards for acknowledging what we do, but it's about the charities always and the people who they help. So Sandy's going to join us now to tell us a little bit more about what's happening in her world. 1 second.
Excellent. So obviously Nordhoff Robbins, while Alex gets all of the technical stuff sorted, Nordhoff Robbins obviously have been one of our charities with the Heavy Metal Truants and the Truants Foundation since the very beginning. So we're so grateful for Sandy for coming along in our 10th year and for season 3 of HMTV. Hi, Sandy.
Hi Helen. Hi Alex. How are you both?
Good. Always better to see your face.
It's an absolute pleasure to be here. I'm very excited. The sun has started to shine a little bit in West London, I will say. So I got a bit wet earlier, but no, just so grateful always, and so touched by the support, and to see that this is the 10th cycle ride, and to be back physical and hybrid. That's really super exciting. Yeah. Just great. Thank you to everybody. We love you. We really do. And I know that I'm stepping in today because Layla is away and she wanted to be able to be here, but unfortunately she had to be on. Unfortunately, she's on holiday. But I know I'm believing she's probably sneaking a peek and listening in. So if she is, hey Layla too.
I hope she is. Hi Layla. We miss you. Yeah, some people have to go on holiday, but other of us just use this as our holidays.
We don't encourage it. No, it's all good. It's all good. Now, if anyone serves it, it's her. And of course, so I guess so much has changed in our world, Sandy. But I guess what's so important about having you along is to tell us also about how your world has changed, how it's adapted, and how you're faring this year. Because of course, it's so important in motivating us to understand what's going on with you, but also to understand the impact that things like HMT can have.
Yeah, no, and I was sort of going through my notes really to sort of make sure to think back, and I think the main thing is we still have a £1.4 million deficit, really, and I think that's the thing, that being able to be supported by the Heavy Metal Truants and the fundraising that you guys do is amazing, because we're still in 2022 overshadowed by the pandemic. And I've got a stat here, which is there's been a 77% rise in the number of children needing specialist treatment for severe mental health. And so that impact on the need to provide music therapy, we're feeling it. And so for us, being able to have the confidence to employ our students graduating from our Masters of Music Therapy program, and knowing that we've got this fundraising from the work that the Heavy Metal Truants is doing along with Truants, is just phenomenal. So I'm excited to say that we will be taking on 10, which I think is a really great number, new music therapists to start from our London training program in September. So they'll be joining us. They'll be able to go out and start to deliver music therapy to help meet that need. We'll be having new pilot projects starting. I can also share with you that last year, due to the fundraising that you guys were able to do for us, we recruited 19 new music therapists. So they were from our Manchester and our Newcastle cohort. So I just want to give a big up to the North, East and Northwest, because I think it's really important that we do that as well. So at the moment, as it stands right now, we've got 98 music therapists delivering music therapy up and down the country. There'll be 10 new ones, as I said, in September. So that breaks that 100 milestone for us as in music therapists.
That is amazing.
Yeah, we're super excited, and that just gives us the opportunity to be able to support and help more people, and in particular this children's mental health crisis that we know has been a direct impact of the pandemic.
Yeah, but I mean, because it's obviously your fundraising went down, then the need for music therapy went up. And I think a lot of people, because I've seen some stuff on the news recently, there's a lot more kind of people are recognizing music therapy as as the great work that it is, and the need for it, and how important it is for not just children, but for people with Alzheimer's and dementia and older people, and actually as a treatment, music therapy is incredibly usul. It's a great tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we know from the fact that music enables us to make those connections, and in particular with the client groups that we work with, some of those people and young people in particular might not necessarily get the chance to express themselves. Yeah. And as we know, music is such a great way to allow that to happen, and that personalized piece where they can be equal in music, they can take part, they can feel connected. And I think that sometimes we take that for granted in our everyday, how powerful music really is. And we believe it's a human right to come alive through the power of music. And that's something that we kind of hold on to. And I was fortunate enough to be with one of our parents last night who shared her story about Charlie. And it was such a wonderful, uplifting story of how Charlie was born with Down syndrome. He was then diagnosed very early on within his life with autism. So there he is. He's got very complicated needs, very complicated conditions. And unfortunately, just before he was 3 years old, Charlie was diagnosed with leukemia.
Oh, for sorry, pardon me. I know. And he had to he went through a lot of treatment, and in particular picked up lots of infections due to the treatment he was having, and he was isolated for 6 months on a ward because of sepsis. And the one thing that brought him some comfort, some joy, was his sessions of music therapy with Alison, his music therapist. And it was so wonderful to hear Emma share that story. Charlie has been 5 years in remission. So, he's good. He's 8 years old. He's cheeky. He's running around. And Emma shared with me how important music is to them as a family, how important music was at that time for Charlie, and in particular how in the hands of a skilled, trained music therapist like Alison, how it was used to compensate for the noises and the machines and all of that equipment, and the fear that exists around Charlie and the family when in such a situation. So I just want to say a huge, huge thank you to all of you amazing human beings that are going out of your way to do this 175-mile cycle ride. Should I tell people it's that long, Helen? Yeah, it's fine. They should know by now. If they don't, they're in for a big surprise. But we've got some riders that are doing more. The more miles they do, hopefully the more money they fundraise, and the more money they fundraise, the more money comes to you guys. So it is so important now more than ever for the people to really kick in their fundraising, and riders feel free to share stories like the one that Sandy just told us about Charlie, and you can find more stories like that on the Nordhoff Robbins website, and all of the other charities as well that we work with. Don't worry about telling people about the amazing work they do. Just bully them hard, get that fundraising coming in.
And what we like to say, Helen, is more money, more mission, and then, so thank you.
It's an absolute pleasure. It's all for the kids.
Definitely.
Alex, you're on mute.
I know, I love that. I love the fact that we can get to still say that.
Yeah, indeed. More I'm saying more of a medal mission for us then. So there's a lot more for us to be doing.
So Sandy, have you got any budding kind of metalheads in the upcoming?
Sorry.
Any of the clients, any budding metalheads?
That is a really, really good question, Helen, and I'm going to have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure there probably is. I mean, we have, as you know, we've got, and actually internally the staff got a lot of love, that, a lot of love. And so I'm going to actually go out and check and ask that question, because that would be great.
You could be sitting on the next Donington headliner and not even know it.
I know that. And thank you. I will. That could be something that Lane and I can put out as do we have any, because that's the one thing that we work with so many different types of music, and I've never actually asked that question. So I'm going to take that away with me and find that out for you.
Excellent. I don't know if anyone's seen the Netflix show that came on, Metal Lords. It was quite interesting seeing the power of metal and what it can do, and obviously the drums and the beats and stuff and the guitar riffs that come with metal. It can be used in quite a therapeutic way.
Well, I reckon so, because the thing is, you're also getting a chance to really express yourself in a really, it's like working all out, isn't it? It's getting it all out. And, we all use music in different ways. And one of the things I always love is watching drums and drumming, because that is and in particular, I know that with children with ADHD, that really helps to kind of have that opportunity to focus all of those sort of different techniques that you need into one output. So I know that drumming does some amazing stuff. So
absolutely. Yeah. I'm so glad that you mentioned drumming, Sandy, because actually our next guest is not only very well known to Nora Robbins, but he's also a drummer.
Indeed. We're going to bring Rob from Enter Shikari in just a moment. Sandy, thank you so much for inspiring us to do this and for spending the time with us today. It's such a pleasure to know that we're doing something for such meaningful causes. So thank you very much on behalf of all the HMTs.
No, thank you. And have a wonderful rest of the show, and good luck to everybody on Wednesday, the 8th of June.
Thanks, Sandy.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Very good.
I love speaking to the charities. It makes me cry every time, but it's just that reminder of why we're doing this. We spend every day. Hey Rob, how you doing?
Hi folks.
Yeah, Rob, we spend every day kind of working and doing the logistics, and obviously you guys doing the training. But the charities. So Rob, you spent some time at Nora Robbins, didn't you?
Yeah. Rao and I a little while ago were invited down to their headquarters in London to see sort of firsthand what they do. We actually got to join a class. And it was awesome, like not just sort of sit in the back and witness it, but get involved, and I was playing along, and it was so impressive seeing the impact that it makes. It was instantly really obvious what benefits they sort of provide.
Indeed. Well, Rob, I mean, this is quite an extraordinary thing to have someone in your line of work along to do all of this. It's just astonishing to me to see how far along Enter Shikari have come. But you're quite an accomplished cyclist as well, it seems. It doesn't seem like
really
enough. Well,
where did you hear that?
Well, I mean, given the way that you're actually tackling the challenge, for most people, the distance between London and Donington is usually enough. But apparently, you're not a big fan of gears, and so you're only bringing one.
Yeah, well, so I love cycling, and I love cycling on my single speed bike. I don't know, it's just something about, I feel more connected to the road somehow without all those gears in the way. I feel like it's got better acceleration. But I've got to admit, this is the first long distance cycle ride I've ever done.
We have got you a backup just in case.
I might need it. No, I think I'll be all right. But yeah, when you first asked me, would I fancy doing it? I thought, 170 miles, it sounds a lot, but on a bike, I bet it's not that bad. And then my first bit of training, I did 15 miles. I was like, oh my God, 170 miles. How the hell am I going to do this?
Well, so you're joining us on the physical ride. So one of the reasons we got you along, not only are you from an amazing metal band called Enter Shikari, I'm sure people know and have heard of you, but also you're kind of our celebrity ambassador for Nora Robbins this year. So you're joining the physical ride for the first time. You're doing shows with Shikari out on the road. In fact, you're in Nottingham tonight, and you're writing the new material, and you're recording, kind of recording as well. I mean, how do you have time to do any training?
I don't really. I've not done enough. I did like a week ago. I did my first 50-mile cycle.
That's not bad. I think if you can do 50 miles on a day, then I think that's enough.
Yeah, I think. Well, I did that like in an afternoon. So I thought, okay. So the longest day is 90 miles, right? The second day.
Yeah.
So if I do 50 miles in the morning, have a pub lunch, then basically that again in the afternoon, it'll be a lot. But if I take it slow and just sort of pace myself,
absolutely.
And then
so you say pub lunch.
okay.
There is pub lunches. There's also on the second day we've got a couple of break stops, and we've been given a mass load of chocolate bars from one of our riders as well. So
awesome.
Yeah, there's snacks, and we will.
I'm really looking forward to it, and I chose particularly to do the actual cycle with all you folks up to Donington, because I just love the sort of camaraderie of it, and I think joining a group of people all going to the same place as opposed to just sort of going around in circles for 170 miles, I feel like it will spur me on a lot more, and it's more likely that I'll actually reach the finish line.
Well, this is it. I think that one of the most important things for us is to replicate that esprit de corps with all of our virtual riders and walkers and runners as well, because that's the thing that really gets us through. Is something really special always happens whenever we do have an Truants. Is friendships are born. Because it's just, you can't help but kind of break down barriers when you're all sweating it out together, if it's virtually or physically. And there is something really emotional about getting to that finish line. So you're right about that, Rob. And I have to say, I'm just so pleased to have you along. Not just
thanks for having me.
No, it's a pleasure. So we're going to be rooting for your training in the next few weeks, and it's reminding to everyone else to get out there. It doesn't have to be huge, but everything you do will make you enjoy the experience and relish it a little more, and
also don't forget, if you're not the best of cyclists, like myself, I'm pretty terrible. We always wait for the slowest person, so it doesn't matter how slow you are, we all arrive together, and that's the main point of the ride. It's not a race. It's a group of people going in the same direction. I'm
really looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah, well, we're looking forward to hanging out. Thank you so much for your support, Rob, and for I guess just especially helping us with the visibility about HMT. I mean, it's amazing that for all of the power of the internet and everything else, equally powerful as the word of mouth thing is just seeing other people set an example. And
absolutely.
So thank you very much. And so we'll leave you to enjoy the Cloud City of Bespin on behalf of all the nerds who are watching.
Yeah, I've got to go warm up now. We've got the show tonight. So
all right.
Good luck. Have an amazing time.
I'm sitting in the kitchen at the minute. That's why I put this background on, so you can't see all the pipes around behind me. But anyway, lovely to see you guys.
So rock and roll.
Tell me about it.
All right. Well, we'll see you on
I've
the road.
Got a beer at least.
Yay!
Enjoy. Good training.
See you at 8 a.m. on Wednesday.
Perfect. See you then.
Bye.
Bye. Very good. Wow.
He doesn't know what he's letting himself in for, does he?
No way. And let's keep it that way. I mean,
absolutely. No one tell him.
But I mean, if it wouldn't count if it wasn't hard. So I love that people in the ranks of the heavy metal Truants have set some extraordinary challenges for themselves. In fact, this year we thought it would be a good idea to actually kind of single them out a little bit with feats of exceptional truancy. I think that everybody who might be watching today will agree that our closest thing to a spiritual Yoda-like mentor person, Brian Blessed, of course, who saw us off from Alexander Palace on year 5, and I think inspired us all with his words. And one of them is to always choose the adventure. And for some people, the thought of a mere ride from London to Donington isn't enough. Like the 3 Stooges who we're about to welcome on, who are literally mere hours away from setting off on their challenge. I feel like what they're doing is absolutely extraordinary.
These are some crazy mofos right here.
Yes, indeed. Yes, the Crazy Mofo crew. The Three Stooges are joining us now. Graham and Martin and Matt. And
can we get all three of them on the screen?
Yeah, indeed. I think we're just waiting for Matt asked to start video, and he should be on with us. And well, we'll start with Graham, man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident. I could do with a beer right now, but I'm going to not have one. I'm going to behave myself tonight.
I'm going to be following you, Graham.
No, it's going to be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good ride.
So tell us exactly, what are you doing tomorrow?
So we're going to start at about 4:30 at St Paul's Cathedral, which is about
Not St Paul's Cathedral. It was the 4:30 thing that I was.
yeah. Do about 170 miles round to Winchester and back to Richmond Park, and it's about 23 miles for all three of us to a start, and about 12 miles to the end. So it's about 160 to 70 mile ride together, roughly.
I mean, come on. You know, it's just absolutely astonishing to me to think the feat that you guys are about to undertake. Of course, none of you are strangers to the heavy metal truants. You've all done exceptional things. I mean, just off the top of my head, Martin, you completed a beast of a ride when we were virtual last year. Graham, you did the same. You also undertook the gorilla ride that a tiny elite force of us did up to Donington, not in 3 days, but in 2. And Matt, aside from the exceptional distances you've done, you actually did the London to download distance. I mean, remind me, how long did that take you? 175 miles?
I think it took me about 15 hours.
Oh, man.
So yeah, that was a 5 o'clock in the morning. I got up to North Staffordshire and then back down to North Gloucestershire about 8 o'clock in the evening. So yeah.
Jeez. So I guess the question that I have is this: what are you guys thinking?
I'm already tired before I started, just thinking about it.
I mean, I'm going to blame those two because they roped me into it. They told me. I had no input in this. I was told I was doing it. So
I think that was under the influence when he came up with it, didn't he?
We were all. It was that Truants night last year. We were all pretty under the influence, but still, it's on YouTube. So,
but isn't it true that none of you guys knew each other before Heavy Metal Truants, and then because doing the virtual ride and through HMTV and through the kind of things that you've done, you've all met and kind of started this little kind of this little side group that's
I definitely got inspired by both Matt and Graham, definitely, because I never done more than say like 50 miles, like Rob was saying. And then I was hearing, someone's done 175. I was like, you what?
Yeah.
So
you're challenging each other.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So can I ask? Obviously, I mean the mileage is incredible. Can I ask, does the mileage equal the pounds that you've raised so far?
I think it's what are we on, Matt?
As a team, I think we're on about 2,500.
I can tell you exactly what you're on. You're on £2,907.50 as a group.
All right. Okay.
So you're £100 off the 3 grand mark, which would be £1,000 for each of you. Yeah. So if anyone wants to sponsor these 3 crazy loons, I'm sure their fundraising page is open for you right now.
Wide open.
Wide open.
Yeah, I've got a whole new load of people that I work with now. So literally, I was going around the office saying, share it. And I think I've got about 200 quid in the last 24 hours. So.
Well done, you.
It's impressive. So give us the numbers. By the numbers, what time are you setting off? What time do you expect to get there? How many calories do you think you're going to burn? How many beers do you think you're going to drink at the end?
The 4:30 departure from St Paul's. I'm reckoning about 17, 18 hours. Calories, 1 million a piece.
Yeah, too many.
And then smash some beers, have a pizza, fall asleep, have some, that's me done then.
Yeah, fantastic.
Have you got somewhere to like stop for lunch? Have you got all that sorted out, or are you like?
I think Matt's planned something. So
yeah, we're going to the palace in Winchester, the last remaining part of the palace that goes right the way back to King Arthur's days, and we're going to have a photograph in front of the round table, which is about like 30th century or something like this. So that'll be like a turning point. And of course, that is the home of Camelot. So I just want to link that back into to Monty Python, of course, and the Black Knight. But it seemed like a good place to sort of like head for home, shall we say, when we're about 100 miles, Yeah,
I think that place. I think that's like super metal. Camelot,
Indeed.
right?
Stupid.
No comment. But but I think that we're all completely impressed by you guys, and the effort that you are taking. You've really already batted it out of the park in terms of just showing people the kind of commitment, but also I think, as Helen rightly pointed out, the friendships that can come from HMT. Some of my best friends have come from doing this thing, and it's invited some new ones in as well, which is really, I think, the best thing about all of this. And so we're going to sign off now. We'll be back with more Heavy Metal Truants. I think all I can say is this: enjoy yourselves, enjoy the ride. We're very proud of you. We'll be rooting for you and looking out. And before I go, Graham, you're going to be posting about this.
Yep.
Where can people go to get live updates of the?
So
I can share my link, my Strava beacon.
But for social media purposes, people can go to the Heavy Metal Cycling Club, the HMCC, which is Alex's other the club which came from HMT, which I'm a member of. We'll share to the Twitter and the Instagram throughout the day, live updates. And there'll be probably a Facebook Live on the HMCC page as well, early doors. So we're here, we're ready, we're going.
We will be watching, and we'll be tweeting that from the HMT account, of course, just so people.
Fantastic.
And then just let us know how it's going. Enjoy the ride. We salute you. Hope to raise a glass with you very soon indeed and hear all about it. I envy the adventure that you guys are about to undertake. So well done.
Cheers, dude. Thanks,
Not
everyone.
you whatsoever, but have an amazing time.
We will.
All right. We'll see you guys.
It's awesome having people joining us from the virtual side as well.
Well, I got to say, I mean, this is why I wore this shirt, I hope he isn't watching because he hates things like this, but Rod has an infectious sense of adventure. That's why we were having the conversation about the idea that will become the Heavy Metal Truants in Morocco in the desert. But it's just one of those things where I think the appeal of stepping outside of yourself is tremendous. The knowledge that it can actually do something to impact people is wonderful. And that it can bring so many wonderful people together is just the best possible thing. We've been visited by a bunch of those today. We'll be doing that again soon.
So wise, Alex.
Not at all. But it's exciting. We're only about 10 days away, which just blows my mind. 10 days away from the 10 Commandments, the 10th Heavy Metal Truant ride. And man, I'm so excited. We'll be joined by more guests soon. Anything else for us to remind people of, Helen? Or
there's so many things.
So many things.
Get on Strava, keep training, keep fundraising. You can still sign up for the virtual challenge if you haven't already and you want to join up. There's still time. And there's a little thing about Bryan Adams at the O2 if anyone wants to go.
Yes, indeed. Free Bryan Adams tickets for Heavy Metal Truants. We'll ping a message out about that as well, but our friends at the O2 have been just absolutely delightful. Free tool tickets, free tickets to Foreigner, Europe, and Whitesnake, and now Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. So we'll ping out the notes about that. And if anyone wants to go, just email us as ever on info@heavymetaltruants.com. Okay. Excellent. Helen, I will see you next week.
Yes,
5 p.m.
Friday, 27th of May at 5 p.m.
Wonderful. Okay, we'll see you soon.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.